This is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight.
Hey, have you heard the latest buzz going around? So there's this wild rumor that's been making the rounds, and it's got everyone talking. It's about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and apparently things are heating up big time. Now remember, this is just a rumor, no solid evidence yet, but it's too juicy not to share. So the story goes like this. Mike Tyson is absolutely furious at Jake Paul. The reason? Allegedly, Jake has been messing around with the rules of their upcoming fight to tilt things in his favor. Can you believe that? Picture this. Mike Tyson, the legendary Iron Mike, who's known for his fierce demeanor and no-nonsense attitude, is gearing up for a big fight. He's all about honor and fair play, right? Meanwhile, Jake Paul, the YouTube star turned boxer, is supposedly trying to change the game to give himself an edge. The rumor mill is churning out that Jake has been pushing for rule changes that would benefit his style and experience level, maybe even changing the rounds or the type of gloves they'd use. Now, if you know anything about Tyson, you can imagine how this might sit with him. According to the whispers, Tyson is livid. I mean, who wouldn't be? He's been in the ring with some of the best fighters in history, and the idea that someone like Jake Paul, who's relatively new to the sport, could be trying to manipulate the fight rules. That's a huge no-no in Tyson's book. People are saying that Tyson feels disrespected. He's reportedly been telling those close to him that this kind of behavior is unacceptable and that he won't stand for it. Some even say he's considering pulling out of the fight if these rule changes go through. It's that serious, but it gets even crazier. There's talk that Tyson confronted Jake about it directly. Imagine the scene. Tyson with his intimidating presence staring down Jake, probably with that famous Tyson glare. Some say there was a heated exchange with Tyson laying down the law and telling Jake to play fair or not play at all. Jake, of course, has his own following and is known for his antics, so you can bet this clash of personalities was intense. Fans are divided, as you might expect. Some are backing Tyson, saying that he's right to stand up for the integrity of the sport. Others are siding with Jake, claiming that he's just playing the game and trying to use every advantage he can. It's creating quite the stir online, with social media buzzing with opinions from both camps. Again, let's be clear. This is all just rumor and speculation at this point. There's no hard evidence that any of this has actually happened, but it's definitely sparked a lot of conversation. If it turns out to be true, it could have major implications for the fight and both fighters' reputations.
I think he's came a long way from YouTubing. And listen, I seen a YouTube of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me, which I'm accustomed to, and he's going to be greatly mistaken.
For now, though, it's just one of those stories that's too intriguing to ignore. So, what do you think? Is Jake Paul really bold enough to try and change the rules against someone like Mike Tyson? And if he is, do you think Tyson is right to be furious about it? It's one of those situations where you can see both sides. But it's also a reminder of how intense and dramatic the world of boxing can be, even before the fighters step into the ring. All right, let's dive even deeper into this rumor, because the more you think about it, the crazier it gets. So word on the street is that the rule changes Jake Paul is pushing for are pretty significant. It's not just minor tweaks. We're talking about alterations that could completely change the dynamics of the fight. One of the big rumors is that Jake wants to shorten the number of rounds. Traditionally, big fights like this would go for 12 rounds, but Jake is allegedly trying to cut it down to, say, 6 or 8. The idea is that he doesn't want to go the distance with someone like Tyson, who, despite his age, still has a lot of stamina and power. By shortening the rounds, Jake could potentially avoid getting too exhausted and overwhelmed. Another change Jake is rumored to be advocating for is the size of the gloves. In boxing, the size and weight of the gloves can make a big difference. Heavier gloves offer more protection, but can also slow a fighter down. Lighter gloves, on the other hand, can increase the speed and impact of punches. The buzz is that Jake wants to go with lighter gloves to take advantage of his speed and striking ability. If true, this would be a clear attempt to play to his strengths while putting Tyson at a disadvantage. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some insiders are suggesting that Jake might be pushing for a change in the fight's weight class, or even the inclusion of certain safety rules that weren't originally part of the agreement. For instance, adding more breaks or modifying the rules around knockdowns could give Jake more opportunities to recover and strategize during the fight. Mike even promised live on TV that he will defeat Jake Paul.
What's up, Sean?
Listen, will you please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please?
Hey, I will do just that for you.
Now, considering all these potential changes, you can see why Tyson would be upset. This isn't just about pride or honor, it's about the integrity of the sport. Tyson has built his legacy on fair fights and raw power. The idea that he'd have to contend with a bunch of new rules designed to level the playing field, or worse, tip it against him, must be infuriating. And let's not forget the psychological aspect. Mike Tyson is as much a psychological fighter as he is a physical one. Part of his strategy has always been to get inside his opponent's head, to intimidate and dominate before they even step into the ring. Jake's moves here could be seen as a way to undermine that, to show that he's not afraid and that he's willing to challenge Tyson on his own terms. It's a bold, almost brazen move that speaks to Jake's confidence, or perhaps his desperation. There's also talk about the financial implications. Big fights like this aren't just about who wins or loses. They're massive financial spectacles. Sponsors, broadcasters, and promoters all have a stake in making sure the fight is exciting and draws in viewers. If Jake's changes make the fight more unpredictable or seemingly fairer, it could attract even more attention. But if Tyson walks away because he feels disrespected, it could all come crashing down. This adds another layer of tension as both fighters and their teams weigh the potential gains and losses. Now imagine the training camps. On Tyson's side, there's probably a lot of frustration and anger. His trainers and sparring partners might be working even harder to prepare for these new conditions, which could change the way they approach the fight. For Jake, his team might be more focused on strategy, using these potential changes to their advantage, crafting a game plan that maximizes every rule tweak. Fans are speculating wildly, and the media is having a field day with it. Boxing forums are lit up with debates, and every little piece of information, no matter how small, is being analyzed and dissected. People are watching both fighters' social media for any hints or clues about what's really going on. It's creating a kind of frenzy, which in a way might be exactly what Jake wants. He's always been a master at generating buzz, and this situation is no different. Ultimately, the big question remains, will the fight go on as planned? Or will Tyson's reported fury lead to a last-minute cancellation or a major showdown outside the ring? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. This rumor has added a whole new level of drama and excitement to an already highly anticipated event. Whether it's all true or just a bunch of talk, it's got everyone hooked and eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this saga. It seems like the rumors about Jake Paul changing the rules for his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson are causing quite a stir. But there's some clarity needed here. According to recent reports, there have indeed been discussions about specific rule changes that might affect the fight. For example, the fight is set to feature 14-ounce gloves and 8 2-minute rounds instead of the standard 3-minute rounds. This has sparked controversy, with some, like former cruiserweight world champion Tony Bellew, expressing frustration and disbelief over these adjustments, calling them a disgrace. In the next clip, we can watch how Mike reacted to a question live on air. Now let's watch this and see his reactions to the rumors.
Let's talk about, there's been a lot of rumors out there about the fight that maybe you're going to have 18-ounce gloves, you're going to be wearing headgear. Any truth to any of that?
No, not true at all. Not true. Not true. No true. Listen, this is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight.
You're going in, this is a real fight, and you're going in to win this fight. What is bringing you back? What is luring you back in? Is it kind of like the last Rocky movie and you got stuff in the basement, you need to get it out?
You know, Sean, I have a weird personality. I don't think it's weird, though.
August, I'm back, baby. Let's get it.
However, Jake Paul's camp has denied making any significant changes to the rules to gain an unfair advantage. Jake Paul's manager, Nikisa Badarian, has refuted claims about major rule changes, including the use of headgear and heavier gloves, stating unequivocally that there will be no headgear involved. Sport Bible. The fight is still expected to be a professional bout, which means the results will be officially recorded for both fighters. In essence, while there are some confirmed adjustments to the rules that deviate from traditional professional boxing norms, the claims of drastic changes favoring Jake Paul have been denied by his team. It seems the situation is still evolving, and more concrete details will likely emerge closer to the fight date. From a strategic perspective, Jake Paul's team might be leveraging these changes to level the playing field against a seasoned veteran like Tyson. Paul's manager, Nikisa Badarian, emphasized that there would be no headgear involved, countering earlier rumors and maintaining that the fight will adhere to professional standards in this regard. This assurance aims to quell doubts about the fight's credibility while still navigating the unique stipulations. This fight is not just a typical bout. It's a major spectacle set to be the first live boxing event broadcast on Netflix. The streaming giant's involvement indicates the fight's high stakes and potential viewership, which likely contributes to the intense scrutiny and heightened expectations surrounding the event given Tyson's age. He will be 58 at the time of the fight. There are legitimate health and safety concerns. The lighter gloves and shorter rounds could be seen as measures to mitigate the risk of serious injury. Despite Tyson's formidable history, the Boxing Commission and organizers might have agreed to these changes to ensure a safer environment. Especially considering Tyson's recent health scare involving an ulcer flare-up, Jake Paul is known for his ability to generate buzz and hype. These rule changes, whether seen as controversial or strategic, contribute to the narrative and marketing of the fight. By positioning himself as someone who can tweak the traditional format, Paul continues to build his brand as a disruptor in the boxing world. This strategy could be seen as both a way to gain a competitive edge and to keep the public and media engaged. If these rule changes prove effective and the fight garners significant viewership and positive reception, it could set a precedent for future boxing events, particularly those involving non-traditional or celebrity fighters.
For sure, I think it's 50-50, you know? I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, see me as an arrogant ass. I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world. And I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out, but at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
The boxing world is watching closely to see how these modifications impact not only the fight's outcome, but also its reception by fans and critics alike. While the specifics of the rule changes have caused a stir, the broader implications highlight a strategic move by Jake Paul's camp to optimize conditions in their favor.
You know, Sean, I have a weird personality. I don't think it's weird, though. Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. And that's how it is. I was afraid for the Roy fight. I was scared to fight again. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was however old, 54, 53. And I said, let's do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
All while navigating the fine line of maintaining professional standards. The outcome of this fight, in terms of both performance and public reaction, could influence the future landscape of boxing events involving high-profile, yet unconventional matchups. There's a lot of chatter that these two might be gearing up for a face-off, and let me tell you, no one wants to be defeated in this potential showdown. Mike Tyson, the legendary heavyweight champ, coming out of his retirement groove to face none other than Jake Paul, the YouTube star turned boxing sensation. It's like a clash of titans from two completely different worlds. Tyson's got the experience, the power, and the iconic status. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is younger, faster, and has been stirring up the boxing scene with his controversial fights and big personality. Imagine the buildup to this fight. Tyson, with his fierce training regimen, getting back into peak condition. You know how intense he can be? He's not going to take this lightly. Meanwhile, Jake Paul will be all over social media, hyping up the fight, trash talking, and posting his insane workout videos. It's going to be a social media storm, with fans from both sides going crazy. The fight itself would be a spectacle. Tyson's raw power and experience versus Jake's youthful energy and unpredictability. Everyone's wondering, can Jake Paul really stand a chance against a legend like Mike Tyson? Or will Tyson remind everyone why he's one of the greatest boxers of all time? The stakes are incredibly high. If Jake wins, it would be monumental, solidifying his place in the boxing world. If Tyson wins, it would be a triumphant return and a reminder of his unmatched prowess. And think about the press conferences. Tyson's calm, almost philosophical demeanor, contrasting with Jake's brash, in-your-face style. The tension, the drama, the sound bites. It would be pure entertainment. The rumors are flying, and while nothing's confirmed yet, the mere idea has everyone buzzing. People are already picking sides, debating who would win, and speculating on how the fight would go down. It's the kind of matchup that gets everyone talking, even those who don't usually follow boxing. So keep your ears open and your eyes on social media. If this fight actually happens, it's going to be one for the history books. Whether you're Team Tyson or Team Paul, one thing's for sure, no one wants to be defeated in this battle of epic proportions. This fight would be a collision of eras, styles, and personalities. Tyson's old-school, no-nonsense approach to the sport versus Paul's modern, entertainment-focused strategy. There's a stark contrast in their fighting styles, too. Tyson's peekaboo boxing style, characterized by explosive power and relentless aggression, is a nightmare for any opponent.
I don't think he's faster than me.
Right. How hard are you training?
I train every day.
Okay. How many hours a day
Hey,
you
I
training?
take it serious. Listen. Well, listen, it's the whole day. The process goes through the whole day. I get up in the morning, do the road work, then I go to the gym at 1, then I go to the strength and conditioning guy, then it starts all over again.
Yeah. So Jake Paul is saying he wants to be a world champion. He says you're the greatest heavyweight champion ever, the baddest man on the planet, and the most dangerous boxer of all time. This will be the fight of a lifetime. You've had a chance to assess Jake Paul. What do you think of his boxing ability?
Jake, still relatively new to the sport, relies more on strategy and the element of surprise. He's shown he can adapt, but facing Tyson would be unlike anything he's encountered before. The psychological warfare leading up to the fight would be fascinating. Tyson's mind games are legendary. He's known for his ability to intimidate opponents before they even step into the ring. Jake Paul, however, thrives on controversy and conflict, often using it to fuel his performances. He wouldn't back down, and the verbal sparring between the two would be epic, setting the stage for a fight that feels more like a blockbuster event than a traditional boxing match. From a business perspective, this fight makes a lot of sense. Tyson's comeback exhibitions have shown there's still a massive audience for his fights. Jake Paul, with his millions of followers, brings in different demographic younger fans who might not typically watch boxing. The pay-per-view numbers could be astronomical, drawing in casual fans, hardcore boxing enthusiasts, and everyone in between. Moreover, this fight could have significant implications for both fighters' legacies. For Tyson, it would be another chapter in his storied career, a chance to showcase that he's still a force to be reckoned with even against the new generation. For Jake Paul, defeating a legend like Tyson would be the ultimate validation, proving his critics wrong and establishing him as more than just a YouTuber turned boxer. In the end, whether this fight happens or not, the mere possibility has already sparked a wave of excitement and debate. Tyson and Paul may come from different eras and backgrounds, but their shared desire to dominate in the ring makes this rumored matchup incredibly intriguing. No matter who you're rooting for, one thing is clear. If these two step into the ring, it's going to be an unforgettable spectacle where, truly, no one wants to be defeated.
I mentioned many details of this saga, but there's something else very huge that is happening in the wait for this fight. So check out this deep dive where I'll tell you other rumors that are buzzing in the boxing community. You will learn new shocking claims that are attracting people's attention. Click on the screen to watch the deep dive, and thanks for watching this video.